なんとかなったみてえだな。畳みかける。これがスーパーサイヤ人3だ。
All right, what's going on, you fam? Raiyuden here. Like I said before, unprecedented event, a double ultra finale for part 3 of the special 7th super anniversary. They did say that don't expect this going forward. This is just to commemorate how awesome and how big 7 is for Dragon Ball. But I wanted to ask everyone what their reaction is to such a big reveal. So I asked over on Twitter with the reaction video, what are your thoughts on the reveal? You guys really like this? And of course, I got Goresh over here. We are going to go through some of your comments and see what the community feels about this. Because although most of us are hyped, I would imagine some people feel otherwise. What do you think?
I am just going to be transparent. I am going to be beyond biased. So don't mind me.
This is your ideal celebration. Like you, Namek Saga. This is the pinnacle for you. For me, it would be Boo Saga. So we all have our biases. It is what it is.
If you just told me like create my own part 3, this is probably what I would do. So yeah.
I actually, what's funny is I remember saying, if they're going to continue doing these unique little cutscenes that play, how cool would it be if an Ultra Namek Goku, when swapped into the field and you have a defeated Krillin, make him an event exclusive like Death Buffer, he plays the cutscene and then your opponent is locked in, he gets a Vanish, he takes away Vanish, you got an ultimate, just like the Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku Last Man Standing. Like, obviously that's toxic, but that plays into, it's like, are you talking about Krillin? Like, it would have been, pretty sick.
I mean, his intro, both the intros.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people realize how much better the quality is on this intro than like every other Ultra. Like, if you compare the intros on this Goku and Frieza to just even Cell or Beast, dude, the last major celebration Ultra intro animation was Beast. Compare his intro to Goku. It's not even in the same stratosphere.
Yeah, they're leveling up where their headspace should be when it comes to like camera panning. Even Frieza's ultimates, just the way the camera follows through with the character being taken overhead and thrown over. Just the camera work is really, really sick. These two characters are definitely super premium. So Raditz says, absolutely insane. I'm honestly still in shock. The Ultras will be at 1% on the second step, which is amazing. Toshi also dropping by just made it a 10 out of 10 reveals for me. The Ultras, the 1% thing, you might be confusing the Frieza banner for the Goku. It's not both of them. It's just Frieza's step 2, where they have 3 times the Ultra rates. For Goku's banner, they decided to give him 2300 Z power, which it's not going to matter unless you got 4 copies. And I mean, if you have 4 copies, at that point, do you care? Like, at that point, you're trying to 14-star him anyways. You're not going to care about that 1000 Z power. So you may be confusing too.
It does matter because of the pack. That's why they did it.
Yeah.
The pack that gives you 1000.
If they went with 2500, then people would be like, oh, okay, 1 last copy for the 14. But no, they went with that. Yeah, just to align with the pack. Well, yeah, I agree. It was a pretty epic thing. Toshi just turning around on the chair, acting like a villain. That was good. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm on record saying this multiple times that if they were going to do 2 Ultras in part 3, because it at least seemed feasible, that they needed to do something with the banner formats. I was hoping they would give summon coins for the banners.
Yeah.
That would have been better than what they did, I think. But I think them at least doing something is better than nothing. Yeah. So I think it's good.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit of padding, but there's obviously they could have done better, but at least they didn't do nothing. Oxo says, imagine multiple Trunks animations just to pull Krillin again and again. You see, here's the thing though. What if there's a new summon animation? No, seriously.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Wouldn't it make sense for the new summon animation because it's Goku and Frieza on Namek in the summon screen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see it. Yeah. Can you imagine like somehow Krillin is involved and he just blows up and then Goku wins the clash? I could see it. Yeah. I said, we both said this, but there are a couple scenarios where a new summon animation would be needed. And, having multiple ultras or anything ultra related, you would need something to guarantee you're pulling the newest thing. There is that gap where if you have a new 1% and a new LF character, if you already got the 1%, you want an animation to say, yeah, you're getting the LF, not one of the new characters being the 1%. You want to know. So maybe that's what we're going to see here.
Yeah.
Junie says, I was geeked when I saw the ink art for Goku. I was going crazy.
Yeah. They got... So because we were obviously watching the English version, they got the OG narrator who passed away, I think, quite a while ago. It's the same guy who voiced, I think it was the dub, Captain Ginyu in the initial dub. Mm-hmm. They got that guy to do the the intro for his voice is in the ink art.
Yeah.
And then I actually checked the JP one, and the same thing. They had the original JP narrator's voice, who I believe also passed away, in the ink art.
Yeah.
So they went the extra mile and it's very obvious too. Like they have the same kind of intro part of the ink art where it's the iconic manga cover of Goku kind of staring Frieza down. Mm-hmm. And then it goes into its own thing. This is I actually cannot think of a better way they could have executed this. This is a 10 out of 10 for me.
You could tell that there was an extra level of thought and care for these two characters to wrap up this anniversary. Everything, all these little details add up, and I agree. It was really, really good. Android21 says, amazing. Goku's reveal was so cool, and Frieza's was too, with the rewind effect. I feel like Krillin is just there to decrease the ultra rates, because now if you get a guaranteed animation, it could also mean Krillin. Kageyama's performance was gold, and Toshi is still the GOAT. I think adding a new 1% doesn't take away from the value. If anything, it adds more. Yeah.
All it does is it just kind of can be annoying if you get a Trunks animation or a Bardock animation, because normally that would guarantee you the new Ultra. It doesn't actually affect the rates. It just makes the animations a little bit less meaningful. Mm-hmm. But I would obviously much rather have a new sparking on the banners, because it just gives more value to the characters, right? Krillin is obviously meant to be ran with these guys.
Yeah, and let's be real here. If anything, maybe they're going to go the extra bit for these 1% characters on Ultra banners, because this Krillin already sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Going to be interested in seeing what else they do with Frieza Saga. Typically what they do, recently, is they try and make these teams proud viable. Mm-hmm. So right now, Frieza Saga is not very good. We're about to get 2 Ultras for it. We're about to get Krillin for it. And we're about to get the unique equip for the old LF Full Power Frieza. So that's four good characters for Frieza Saga. We kind of need 2 more. I'm hoping that they're going to give the Ginyu Force each a unique equip. I don't know how realistic that is, but we have an Ultra Bonanza up. It's the best time to do it now if they were going to. But I don't know. We have 2 slots open, and we have the free-to-play third form Frieza coming out. I don't know if they want to count that as a slot, but we're still 1 behind. So I think something else is going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah, I can imagine that a second unique for the LF Frieza is pretty good. The first one that he had, he got really quick upon release.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be really, really good. Absolute Cinema, the first Ultras from Legends New Era, being one of the most memorable moments in the entire Dragon Ball series. Besides being double Ultras, I'll go all in on Goku. They cook so hard with him. His kit is fitting for what he did on Namek. He's a definition of peak. Yeah, his kit. Holy crap. I did not think we would see a team-wide Second Life mechanic. Wow, dude. That's crazy.
And even if it works on himself too, and he gets 70% HP.
Yeah,
when it activates for himself, it is basically just like a better version of a comeback, because it's a comeback that you can use on anyone.
Now the one thing,
it is a support indestructible, essentially, right?
Pretty much.
You can give dude. You can give Majin Vegeta indestructible.
Don't give people ideas. I'll give people
Dude,
ideas.
You know how much content this opens the door for us? I gave Ultra Majin Vegeta indestructible. That's a video.
Yeah, that's a video in and of itself. What stinks though is, it's funny you bring up Ultra Majin Vegeta because this guy's just gonna take that yellow slot. I can't wait to fight him, Kaioken Goku, and MUI because they decided to make this guy support too. They just decided, yeah, give him everything. That trio will be terrifying to deal with. MUI, Kaioken Goku, this guy, and of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the yellow one, gives this dude 95% strike attack. Like, what the hell, dude? I've never seen such a juiced up setup ever. Terrifying.
Yeah, and both the ultras are stacking damage. I think it's Goku has to land the cards, but Frieza can just use the cards, but it's for less time or something. But yeah, they're both stacking damage. Goku has like the lock-in too. Like, it's kind of stupid.
I'm actually really scared of Frieza though. The active skill thing being a short animation too. You know how many play?
Oh, is it guaranteed? Is that?
Yeah, they
guaranteed?
said it too.
Oh.
They actually went out their way to say that. They just said in the review, they're like, yeah, it's also I don't know how he phrased it, but he said that you can vanish any retaliation from your opponent. So it's their way of saying it's a short animation.
You know why that's really good? You can just use it against the UI.
Yeah, it is. It definitely does hurt UI, but I'm thinking more of like the cheeky plays you can now do. It's like, oh, I'm gonna deliberately drop. Oh, what's that? If it hits you, I got priority. If it misses, I get to rush you or overdrive. So it really is a back you in a corner mechanic.
Yeah, and I would doubt that UI would be able to green card it. I don't think he'd be able to because it's not an arts card.
Yeah, it's above. That's gonna be fun. I wasn't looking forward to it, but it definitely exceeded my expectations. Excellent representation, wonderful models. Good luck on your summons, gentlemen. Yeah, the models. Oh man, Goku with the glowing hair.
I don't think there's anything that even what else is even close?
I don't know.
It almost feels like this is just like it opens a new path for the we kind of said the same thing about part 2 where it's like, okay, yeah, they changed the battle system, there's the new dynamic area battles, but the characters kind of were just, I mean, they're cool, I like Saiyan Saga, but the characters were kind of just like not really a ton of new unique stuff. But this focus on part 3 is completely on the characters, right? So it's a bit of a different take on just like the part itself is more focused on one thing rather than the other thing. But the characters, the animations, everything is just almost like it's in its own league almost. These two new characters, like it's really you could tell a lot more development time and resources went into these guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, what's cool for me though is, this just further sets the bar and we can look forward to characters being far more polished as time goes on. Like we said this before, if you don't agree with the character picks for part 2, that's fine. But what you should look forward to is just how much effort went into them. Like Kaioken Goku looks amazing. And when you do get that hype character, whenever that comes, you can, can feel good knowing that because that is the bar, it's going to either meet that or exceed that. Like, they have the tools to make characters look that good. They're going to do it. It's going to be great.
The one thing, if I had to criticize one thing, it would be there's no unique clash animation for Goku and Frieza.
Yeah, I think that odd.
Yeah, if they're going to do dual releases of characters that are like literally mortal enemies. I mean, part 2 they nailed it because like they have the iconic poses out of Goku and Vegeta. If they're going to do Goku and Frieza from Namek, there's like 5 different scenes they could have picked for a unique clash animation. The one I was thinking of was when they both like clasped hands and they were kind of just like trying to push each other. Yeah. And like the lightning started spawning everywhere. That to me would have been like a perfect like unique clash, and the camera could have just like panned back and forth. But that's the only thing I could say, I guess. That part 2 did a little bit better in terms of just aesthetically, but other than that, I mean, the intros on these characters are just beyond anything we've seen.
What I was really hoping for was to hear Goku say, he says something like, "This is my one opportunity to see the universe's biggest scumbag at 100%. I really wanted that line in there as Frieza was powering up, but Goku went with something else, which is fine. Reveal is good. Not a fan of the Ultra Super Saiyan Goku model, though.
What?
It's wildly inconsistent with its color palette, on top of basing it off a degraded representation of the film negatives. Oh, what?
I don't know what that means.
I'm not entirely sure about this. I was thinking the model is very close to when Vegeta comes back to life and he says, Goku, you did it. You're a Super Saiyan now. Like, that specific color palette is what they went for. The way that Goku's like glowing and everything. That's what I think they were trying to follow. Which, by the way, I am so glad they went with the bulkier look for Goku. I think that, to me, that's Goku's best look. I think he looked best at that. Or when you know, the Kaioken ×3 super bulky form. That's my favorite look on Goku.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the model is.
Yeah, for you, there's just nothing is going to deter from just you really, really being excited for this. Like, this is to you is like the pinnacle of what the game could do for you. This is it. It's the rivalry, the everything, the ultra, the rarity, the kit. This is it. This is the best.
Yep.
Number one Rose fan. One thing I want to do is make sure I go to the bottom just to make sure that we cover a lot of comments, just because sometimes we miss it. People need to give you an apology for real. No reason why so many were at your throat for thinking that there'd be 2 ultras.
Yeah, this is your fault.
This is funny to me because you and Jordan made the joke of me wanting 3, and people saw that and they didn't realize it was a joke, and they started using that as criticism, which is super weird because that's not even indicative of my character. When have I ever been one to say, yeah, I want even more premium characters? That's not very reflective of me, so I never understood why people were so mad. But at the same time, I mean, an observation is not the same as wanting something. Everybody saw it. Everyone pointed that out. Only Ultras sell this year? Ultras make them money. They probably just moved the Ultra slot. I mean, it was, I don't want to say kind of obvious, but a lot of us are not surprised, right? Like, it's in the back of our mind.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody, like most content creators, at least like the ones that we interact with mostly, we're all talking about the possibility that, you know, because we only had gotten 1 Ultra up until now, and we'd gotten 2 in the prior year, and then we'd gotten 3 in the year before that. I mean, there's something going on with that.
Yeah.
Right. So we knew there was going to be something special, whether it was going to be an Ultra Legends Limited character, whether there was going to be 2 Ultras. We all thought there was going to be something different here. And to top it all off, it kind of almost got soft confirmed, at least for me, when UI Goku was part 1. And when UI Goku was part 1, we're like, okay, it's not going to be UI, right? Because that was like the only super mega SSS plus tier hype character they had left to do as an Ultra. And because it wasn't going to be him, I mean, something else had to be in the pipeline. So,
not to mention that threw a wrench in what we thought was going to happen, because you know, we noticed a trend. It's like, okay, first year LF becomes 3 years down the line the Ultra. MUI was next in line. The fact that they didn't go with him, it was like, oh, not as predictable anymore. We got no idea. And them not going with movies for part 2 made it even more confusing, because that's what they did for the last 2 years. So they went out their way to not be as predictable. That's something that they do every few years. So, you know, not going with 1 Ultra is kind of, you know, the difference they could make. That would be the one thing that's just unique. It would be to up the amount of Ultras.
Well, also, when you consider what double Ultras means, like, we could have 1 Ultra, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Beast Gohan, UI Goku, like all the heavy hitter characters you can get away with just doing 1 of them. But once you open the can of doing 2, now we can start doing some different stuff. Like, we could do like Sword of Hope Trunks and Fusion Zamasu as a double Ultra. Like Blue Kaioken Goku and Hit. Like a lot of the series gets opened up now to the possibility of being a part 3 to a major celebration if they are going to do these double Ultra releases. I know they said this is a special occasion because this is the 7th anniversary and they're not going to do this every time, but it really does now help them fill in more gaps with just doing normal Ultra characters, right? We no longer have to have like the pinnacle of hype character every single time. It could be like a relatively hype character and then another relatively hype character, and that kind of makes up for it being not like a Gogeta or a Vegeta.
Yeah, we should really, emphasize on that point. Now, if they were to go with more than one, they don't have to, like, if there's not just one slot, they don't have to go with the guaranteed moneymaker now. They could comfortably do the protagonist and antagonist as like a themed thing. How you feel about two ultras is, an entirely different thing. We're just saying like this opens up that possibility now. So like a CMZ Sword of Hope, Omega Shenron Gogeta, just anything, a Buhan Vegito, like anything. It's now there. It's now possible. Don't have to rely on one slot to carry all the hype and make all the money. They can afford to have another one that, even if he's not as hype, just thematically gets people going. That's all.
Yeah, I think another good candidate was like Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. That would be a really good one.
Yeah. If, every little bit of Dragon Ball getting some sort of representation. We kind of thought maybe they would if they're going to continue the Goku Vegeta theme, that double GT Ultras. Yeah, we can see that.
Yep.
Best reveal, really happy with reveals. Anything more than absolute cinema. Part 1 was just a dream. I like it a lot. Favorite arc in Dragon Ball. The best reveal of all time. I do wish they would have added an additional 1% sparking like a Namek Vegeta, but man, I love this. No fusion character for 7th anniversary is a massive W for me personally. And it's good that he says this because, Legends kind of gets criticized for just spamming out fusions. And that's because,
I mean, they did every single fusion last year except for like Kefla.
Yeah, I was getting tired of them trying to play it safe. Like, why are you being safe? The festival showed us that it's not the character choice that you should focus on. It's the execution. Like, people were critical of Part 2's theme, but they could not deny how good both characters look. They were exciting for how polished they were. And look at this. When was the last time we had a, like an antagonist finale to a protagonist ever?
Never.
Yeah, like
actually never.
It seems to me like they're willing to say, all right, let's give it a shot. I want to see. This could be the reason why we haven't seen more Corrupt Mizumasus, more Brolys, more anything. This could have been the reason why. And maybe they're finally taking the Band-Aid off and they're saying, screw it. I don't want to bank on a Fusion Warrior just for that money. Let's start throwing in some villains. Because I think it's criminal that Dragon Ball Super Broly has no Ultra at this point.
I mean, dude, they just do Super Saiyan Gogeta and full power Dragon Ball Super Broly, double Ultra.
You know what? I would not be shocked if that's festival. Do you not find it weird how we got no movies, anything this year?
I don't want to speak this into existence, but I think they can do a 2025 version of the Z movie celebration after the anniversary. But make it good.
I was thinking they would redo the Super Saiyan Gogeta and Broly like when we had the first collab. I thought they would. I figured they'd go with that. I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, movies being untouched for this long, I'm pretty sure has never happened.
Yeah, it's kind of like Future. That was like their love child for like 18 straight months. It just releases and then what? A 1 year gap? That's weird. Can't be right.
Yep.
Ink art is good for both sides of the Ultra. Do like Goku's more than Frieza's. Also, the models look very good. Overall, happy with Part 3. Hoping the stars align and I pull both Goku and Frieza. Yeah, I did say, I didn't make a video on this, but I said if you really are strapped for Chrono Crystals and you don't care who you pull, you just want one of them, your odds are it's just better to pull on the Frieza banner just because of the free Ultra Z power from the event, paired alongside the 3 times Ultra rate on step 2. But Frieza to me is in a bit of a weird spot. I'm not sure why they went with green.
I'm not so much. I don't so much have an issue with the color. My issue is more so with his Z ability, not buffing powerful opponent.
Yeah, for me it's weird because when you try to think of Frieza's teams. If you're thinking Frieza Force, then this kind of hurts with the Vegeta, who without a doubt you want to run. I guess you could run Frieza with Cell, but then it gets weird with Frieza's Ultra ability. So
yeah, I think what you have to do is you put full power Frieza in leader, and then you just sacrifice Cell's Ultra ability. You just don't get an Ultra ability for Cell, and you put him next to Vegeta. So it's going to be double green, red.
Yeah.
And you have leader Frieza, and then you just have Cell and Vegeta, and then that's your team.
I said the same thing, but
Because I mean, let's be realistic. I like Cell, but he's not better than Frieza. He's not gonna be better than Frieza.
no, definitely not. But then you compare that to Goku's teams, and you're like, wow, night and day. Holy crap! Goku's teams are just leaps and bounds better with all the choices that he has. So,
Well, yeah, just Saiyans, yeah.
yeah, I do feel like Frieza's teams will be a bit iffy, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to pull one of them, then Frieza. So hopefully you pull him. The characters are crazy. Ultra Goku is fire for part 3. Crazy 7 out of 10. What? Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Sounds like you praised everything and you went 7 out of 10. It's like IGN when they're like, I hated it. Worst game I ever played. Honestly, I just wanted to stop playing in the first 30 minutes. 7 out of 10. That's what that sounded like.
That's the truth meme with Resident Evil, the last Resident Evil Village game.
Yeah.
We played through it. He's like complaining the entire time. He's like, oh my God, this game is so bad. And then we finish the game and then chat's like, what would you rate it? He's like, dude, you know what? 7 out of 10.
How could you hate Resident Evil Village? Resident Evil Village is so good.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly what the complaints were, but I remember him complaining every
That
stream.
sucks. He hates Ethan.
And then someone goes, what do you rate it? Oh, this game is awful. 7 out of 10.
Free Z power times 3 rates are great budget friendly banner changes. I love that. Last year felt they valued my money spent disproportionately less versus people who spend hundreds. Would be nice if you could unlock the Z power from pulling either ultra. Hopefully they implement a similar system going forward. Well, they did say don't expect this for future celebrations. It's just for this one, so I don't know if they would do that. But it is nice that they provided that. Yeah.
Copium tells me maybe they could have some of these changes on just like normal ultra banners moving forward. Probably not, but we can hope.
Yeah, I'd love that. But hey, then again, they did say don't expect 1800 Z power ever again, or we don't know when it's going to happen, and they brought it back twice. Like just because they say it doesn't mean it'll be true. So who knows? Maybe festival.
I think maybe they did that now that we know what's coming. Maybe they did that because they knew they were going to do double ultra in part 3.
Yeah. They just wanted to play it safe and not set an expectation just so that people aren't disappointed. That's probably it. Like, what if, development time wasn't enough for 2 ultras and people are like, oh, this sucks, should have been 2. Probably that.
Yeah.
Character choices, amazing animations. My gripe is we didn't get a Zenkai or a multiple. Also, why does Goku not have 3 times Z power and rates for step 2 like Frieza? Well, they know everyone's summoning for Goku. That's why. Let's be honest.
It's the team issue. I will say that if I have one big issue with the anniversary as a whole, it is just the lack of Zenkais.
Yes.
I mean, I really thought they were going to do something, and it's possible they still do because I don't think they announced everything in this reveal, but nothing with the original Ultra Namek Goku is a little weird.
Yeah, I agree.
No platinum equipment, no Zenkai. I don't know.
Do you buy them considering platinum equips for ultras the equivalent of Zenkais? Do you think that's the case? I think I said this before, or asked you rather.
I mean, at this point, I kind of view unique equips, platinum equipments, and Zenkais as kind of interchangeable. Mm-hmm. The only difference between really a Zenkai and a unique or platinum equipment is just the fact that you get the Zenkai ability. Right? That's really the only difference, because you can make a character like, dude, look at Ultra Hit. Ultra Hit went from like top 80 to top like 3 when he got his platinum equipment. So, I mean, you could argue that he got a better than a Zenkai treatment from getting the platinum equipment. But with a Zenkai, you have the Zenkai ability. So that is the big difference.
Yeah, not to mention, I mean, ultras are a little bit more gatekeeped because they're harder to pull, but no, there is a lot of truth to that. They were hating you for telling the truth. I just made an observation, as did many other people, but I got all the crap for some reason. You know what's weird is you made a joke saying I want 3 ultras and got no flack versus me saying, they might do 2 ultras. How does that,
me?
you know what I mean? How does it make sense? What the hell?
People just are on my side, man.
I know. This is rigged. Peak reveals, peak ink arcs, peak character model, but their animations and kits are boring. I feel like they could have done something cooler, especially Frieza, and no unique clash is weird.
The unique clash thing I get, but I feel like they have really unique stuff. I mean, Frieza has like a multiple use death beam, which is comboable. Like that's like the way I described that in my breakdown video, if I understand it correctly, is it is essentially just a long range green that does damage, and it's like a 5th card slot.
Yep.
Like it's just an on-demand long-range green card, which is cool. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the animations are so good and the models are so good that like that's part of the allure of summoning for the characters, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Maybe they could have given them more unique stuff. I think no clash definitely. I mentioned it already, but I think the no clash thing is definitely a warranted criticism. But I mean, the anti-KO thing for Goku and then Frieza's. I mean, I feel like it's good.
Yeah. I'll quickly wrap this up. As a free-to-play player, I'm not super happy about double ultras, but that doesn't take away from the hype, from how hype it is. Both the units look insane. Best of luck to everyone summoning. I agree. Everything is cool. Why does Frieza get triple rates when Goku gets extra 300 Z power, which doesn't do anything? Reveal is good, but the banners and Z power situation stains is part 3. Their greed is shining through everything they changed about them, except for the 1% character. I mean, again, doesn't this fall under gacha is gonna gacha? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, that's what that feels like. I'm sorry. Like, we're not, obviously the ideal would have been one banner, revamp steps, potentially pity system, but I mean, that's such
ideally
a
they just give us, ideally we just get them for free, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like these situations to make it impossible to pull the two characters is what they set up. So you open your wallet. It's by design.
I think no matter what they did, people would be complaining. Like even if they put summon coins on the banners, even if they did 3 times rates for each step, there would still be people complaining.
Unfortunately, yeah. They would have said the coins is too high, the steps are too expensive, or the rate isn't high enough, or
I will say, I think they definitely could have done more.
Yeah.
But I'm still glad that they're doing anything at all.
Yeah, that is true. They could have just made it two ultra banners and said nothing. It's the same crap. But instead, they gave you a potential for free ultra Z power with the 3 times rate thingy and whatever. They added something. Is it, and you know, like you said, is it enough? Probably not, but they did something. So we're going to wrap it up there. Part 2 is going to be linked in the description box down below. Goresh is going to have his own little community reaction because, as you could tell, based off of the double ultra reaction I got and he got, we have 2 very different communities, and I'm eager to see what they have to say. So be sure to check it out. We'll see you guys there. Peace.